Chapter 6, 129. Formless Hand, Translator, Chibi General Editor, Chibi General. Fang Yuan, why are you running? You cowardly scum. Are you afraid? Do you have the guts to fight me for 300 rounds? You are unworthy of disguising as Changshan Yin. You don't even have 1% of his bravery. Inside True Inheritance' secluded domain, Fang Yan was flying away rapidly while the others chased from behind, taunting him endlessly. These insults and provocations fell on deaf ears. Fang Yan's expression was tranquil without any emotions. He was closely observing his surroundings. True Inheritance' secluded domain was vast, but it was not a flat area, and many True Inheritance meteors flew around in disorder, even colliding occasionally. Giant Sun's will had taken control of many True Inheritances just before, but there were still many masterless True Inheritances left in True Inheritance' secluded domain. If Fang Yuan was unfortunately obstructed by these True Inheritances, the group of Gu Masters behind him would be able to near him. Once he was encircled, the situation would turn much more dangerous. Right at this moment, a dark red True Inheritance meteor flew towards Fang Yuan. Windflower Gu. Fang Yuan, however, had a slight smile on his face as he inwardly willed. A gust of wind condensed into a giant flower which suddenly appeared beside him. The windflower nimbly changed its direction, carrying him with it. Swoosh! A sharp, ear-piercing wind breezed past. Fang Yuan brushed past this unparalleled True Inheritance light lump. The unparalleled True Inheritance shot forward directly towards the group of Gu Masters behind. The group was caught unprepared and panicked for a moment, dodging and fleeing. Taking advantage of this time, Fang Yuan increased his speed and rapidly pulled apart the distance between him and the group. He Lulan's group naturally was not willing to see this situation. Each of them was an elite. They immediately reacted and sent out countless long-range attacks. Fang Yuan sneered, using the primeval essence in his first aperture, Flash Bug Gu. This was a rare space path movement Gu, and under its effect, Fang Yuan immediately disappeared from the spot. When he appeared, he was already 500 steps ahead. The attacks from He Lulan and the others thus landed on nothing. Fang Yuan stopped Flashbug Gu and changed to Eagle Rise Gu. Flashbug Gu was a rank 5 Gu, but its speed was not great, and it also expended a lot of purple crystal primeval essence to move forward by 500 steps per use. Its main usage was to make sudden movements to avoid attacks. To truly speed up and fly for a long distance, Eagle Rise Gu was still a lot better. Eagle Rise Gu might only be rank 4 Gu, but there were 6 wings on Fang Yuan's back. He had simultaneously used 3 Eagle Rise Gu. Eagle Rise Gu's speed was very impressive and rapidly transported him away, while also consuming less primeval essence. The group of Gu Masters chasing Fang Yuan could only gnash their teeth as he rapidly flew away. Damn it, this guy is truly slippery, only focusing on running away. He has not even a bit of bravery. Didn't he shatter his aperture to ascend to Gu Immortal? How come he still has so much primeval essence left? There are many methods for Gu Masters to preserve primeval essence. So what if the aperture is shattered? One just needs to have Gu that can store primeval essence like Fish Bubble Gu, Beggar Moth, or Grave Yam Gu. My movement Gu can't endure it. The backlash from heaven and earth chi is really terrifying. He Lulan sneered. We are suffering backlash. He is also in the same situation. We will continue chasing without stop. The enemy is a flying master. It is normal for us to not be able to reach him. But as long as we chase closely and not give him time to advance to a Gu Immortal, we will have fulfilled our objective. Fang Yuan glanced back, and seeing that the pursuers had no intention of giving up, the anxiety in his heart deepened. Without doubt, he had to admit that He Lulan was striking at his weak point. Bursts of pain spread from his second aperture. The second aperture was already shattered, forming a hole which was occupied by a lump of 3-colored ki at this moment, waiting for the vital Gu to be put into it and reach the final step, accumulating its foundation till the immortal aperture is born. If the immortal aperture was not created, Fang Yuan would perish from the backlash of heaven and earth chi. If the immortal aperture was created, no matter which grade it was, Fang Yuan would have to concentrate on it fully at that moment, causing him to enter a period of weakness where he would be defenseless. This time could be long or short depending on the person. If the enemies took advantage of this time, Fang Yuan's situation would be bleak and was very likely to die in a tragic end. At present, He Lulan's group was firmly blocking Fang Yuan at this step. Fang Yuan did not dare to place in his goo and could only look on as the extremely compressed three-colored lump of chi started to vibrate. I can't continue like this. If it is put off any longer, the three-colored lump of chi will disperse and all my accumulations used in advancing to Gu Immortal will vanish into thin air. Fang Yuan kept on thinking of one solution after another to get out of this predicament. Rumble. Right at this time, True Inheritance secluded domain started shaking. Rumble. Another tremor soon spread, causing everyone to panic. What is going on? What happened? Is True Inheritance secluded domain collapsing? He Lulan. Yelui Sung and others had a worried expression, realizing fully well in their mind. This was the heavenly tribulations and earthly calamities outside starting to affect 88 True Yang Building. Fang Yan and Tai Bai Yunsheng were instead overjoyed. This signified Giant Sun's will had already staked all its strength, but the heavenly tribulations and earthly calamities was so terrifying that even it had reached its limit. Damn it! Damn it! I barely endured it! Giant Sun's will gasped for breath with fear and joy. It did not even have the energy to curse Fang Yuan. The 10-meter thick golden armor, created by Giant Sun's will that had covered 88 True Yang Building tightly, was now left with nothing but a thin layer with its luster dimmed. 36 chaotic, branching teeth attacking together was not a simple matter of addition. Their overall might was amplified by close to 10 times. During this whole process, Snow War Tribulation and Lightning attacked crazily, like the attacks were free. The lightning which flashed in intervals before had almost become unending like sunlight. One could see the terrifying frequency of Snow War Tribulation lightning. Giant Sun's will avoided death narrowly, but there was not even 1% of the original will remaining. He used all his strength and put in all of his effort to destroy 11 spirals in advance. The remaining chaotic branching teeth erupted together. Giant Sun's will used all his ability and blocked most of them, but he could not block 7 of them. 7 scars appeared on 88 True Yang Building. 4 scars even directly penetrated through True Yang Building, opening up 4 passages. The tremor Fang Yan and the rest felt in True Inheritance secluded domain originated from this. My 88 True Yang Building. Giant Sun's will's heart bled at the sight and almost howled out in grief. The losses were too severe. Not only were the numbers of goo worms destroyed extremely huge, 2 immortal goo were also destroyed. Who knew how long it would take to replenish these goo worms and restore 88 True Yang Building to its complete form? Fang Yuan, you insufferable bastard, you are undergoing the tribulation. Yet I was the one who bore the consequences. I will make sure you regret being born into this world. Giant Sun's will cursed fiercely in his heart. The giant cocoon formed from the heavenly tribulations and earthly calamities had already thinned. Several rays of light pierced through the layers of dark clouds and shone down on the damaged 88 True Yang Building. Heavenly tribulations and earthly calamities were slowly dissipating. Giant Sun's will felt a huge stone lifting off his heart and was joyous to the point of crying, "The heavenly tribulations and earthly calamities have finally ended. I managed to endure it." Although 88 True Yang Building suffered heavy damage, the fundamental goo worms haven't been lost, and the mortal goo might have been destroyed in large numbers. But they can be replenished. The destroyed immortal goo are rather troublesome to obtain, but they also can be refined again. Even if others refine them first, I can use other goo worms to replace them. The situation is set. Now I shall get rid of the otherworldly demon, then teach that scum Fang Yuan his place. The heavenly tribulations and earthly calamities were dissipating in front of his eyes. Giant Sun's will saw the time to take revenge was here, and his mood took a turn for the better. However, Right at this time, a light blue giant hand gradually appeared in front of Giant Sun's will. Th this is... The remaining Giant Sun's will trembled intensely, even more frightened than seeing 70 or even 80 chaotic branching teeth at once. This is thieving heaven demon Venerable's killer move, Formless Hand. This accursed Fang Yuan, how is his luck so bad that he attracted this disaster? Rank 9 Gu Immortals were invincible under the heavens and could leave behind unique traces in the whole world. Even after death, some of their killer moves could emerge again during heavenly tribulations and earthly calamities. I got it. This Fang Yuan is too audacious. He was set on killing the child of luck Ma Hongyun and suffered the backlash from fortune rivaling Heaven Gu, causing his luck to be completely messed up, thus attracting such terrifying a heavenly tribulation and earthly calamity. Giant Sun's will felt extremely agonized when he realized the cause. Going to the bottom of this, it was Giant Sun, Immortal Venerable, who left behind fortune rivaling Heaven Gu. Under an absurd combination of different factors, Giant Sun's will was actually suffering a loss from his own arrangement. Back then, the whole world was helpless when thieving heaven demon Venerable used Formless Hand to rob countless Gu worms. Fortunately, this Formless Hand only has 5 fingers. Thus, at most, it can only seize rank 5 Gu. Oh heavens! Giant Sun's will's pitch suddenly rose an octave higher, crying out in shock. The heavenly tribulation and earthly calamity slowly dissipated. Large numbers of formless hands appeared one after another. 2, 3, 20, 30, 200, 300. Innumerable formless hands appeared, covering the whole sky. Among them, 1-fingered to 5-fingered formless hands occupied the majority. And there were 16 6-fingered formless hands and 9 7-fingered formless hands. There were even 3 8-fingered formless hands. Impossible! Even if Fang Yuan was targeted by fortune rivaling heaven, Gu and his luck became terrible. It could not have gotten to this extent. Giant Sun's will shouted in an incredulous tone. It's over! Everything is finished! Giant Sun's will howled. If he could cry, his face would be filled with tears right now. Instantly, the large number of Giant Sun's will dispersed and fell down from 88 True Yang building like sand. This was the self-collapse of a will. There was not even a trace of fighting spirit left. It could not endure such an impact. The heavenly tribulations and earthly calamities had not ended, but were transforming into this final tribulation. Formless hands. The remaining Giant Sun's will curled up into a lump, exposing 88 True Yang building. Inside True Inheritance' secluded domain, Fang Yuan and the others were still in the dark, not knowing anything that occurred outside. The chase was still continuing. Due to the backlash of heaven and earth chi, the loss of Gu worms on both sides had reached the hundreds. But they were still persisting firmly. Fang Yuan had almost no movement Gu left, but he had already found a way to resolve this predicament. He led the pursuers to make a large detour before suddenly changing direction and flying towards Taibai Yunsheng. Senior brother, quickly open your immortal aperture and let me in. I can evade these pursuers and smoothly advance to a Gu immortal there. Fang Yuan secretly transmitted his voice. This, Taibai Yunsheng could not help but hesitate. The immortal aperture was the foundation of a Gu immortal. If Fang Yuan was let in and he failed, the resulting destruction would have to be endured by Taibai Yunsheng. Senior brother, what are you hesitating for at such a crucial moment? Once I advance to a Gu immortal, we will have the strength to survive this danger. Don't worry, I have complete assurance in advancing successfully, Fang Yuan shouted.